when a person dies, sometimes for someone that's very attached, not very aware, it could be like they're still living, they're still doing their things. For example, when we're dreaming, when you're doing your things in a dream, you don't realize you're in a dream. Most of us don't. So when you're in a dream, you're acting out, you're talking out, you're doing things as if you're not in a dream, you're acting as if it's you. It's only when you wake up you find out that it was a dream. Similarly, you can have that experience that you're in a dream, but you don't know you're in a dream. Also at the time of death, you can be in that kind of subtle kind of mind experience where it seems like it is alive and real. You understand that? So if the mind in the dream state can think that it's really perceiving, functioning, and doing things as if it's real, then in a death state it can be the same also. Why? Because you're dealing with a subtle mind. You're not dealing with a mind that is using the aggregates. You're not using the mind that's using the 5 perceptual aggregates. So therefore, since the mind is not using the 5 aggregates, it's using the mind itself, it's seeing the mind with the mind directly. Also in a death state, you can experience the same thing. You understand that? That's one. Second is, once we die, 49 days is the max that we can exist in the in-between state where we do not take rebirth. Beyond 49 days is not possible. Why? I don't know, but that's the number that I gave. Okay? But it could be 3 days, it could be 8 days, it could be 12 days, it could be 15 days, it could be 48 days, it could be 32 days, it can be any amount of days, but the max is 49 days. It is said that every 7 days we die a small death in Bardo, and then we exist in Bardo until we take another rebirth. So some spirits, they actually have died, and from the Bardo they take reincarnation as a spirit. But due to their previous lives, the disposition was kind of like a nice person and not too bad, but they have karma from previous lives. They take a reincarnation as a spirit. When they take a reincarnation as a spirit, some have the karma that they have to stay like that for a long time. And they must experience their karma as a spirit, and they must live that existence. Some, they're ripened to take another rebirth. So if there's someone around who can perceive that, and someone who can understand and help them, they can actually help them die and take a good rebirth. So what Rinpoche was saying here was that basically Rosie was a nice person, a nice spirit, not a harmful one, probably helpful. So Rinpoche didn't want to take rebirth, he would miss her. Okay? So I guess the question for you is that how would they know that they're not dead, just like I gave you in the dream example? That when you're in a dream, you don't know you're dreaming, you think it's real. So do you get what I mean by that example? It is the mind using the mind to perceive. It doesn't use the aggregates. So when you're dead, you're thinking, well, you're dead. How do you not know that? But in a dream, you're not using your eye or nose or anything to see things, to taste, to touch, but you can have it. And sometimes, very, very clear. So what is that? That is your subtle mind. That is your subtle mind perceiving phenomena. And I'm not talking about light phenomena, just talking about normal things. You understand that?
Is it possible that we are dying, we perceiving the dying?
Sorry?
The normal death will go dying.
Some people have sudden death. Example, an accident. Hit their spinal cord or their brain or whatever, instant. And those kind of deaths, they don't go through the death process. They do not. Where you see the elements dissolving, you see the mirage-like view, you see like a haze, and you see fireflies, like we described in the tantras, right? Different stages. They don't see that. When it's sudden death, they do not experience that. What happens is they instantly die, they're in a Bardo state. They don't go through the death signs. Why? When the body is just smashed, it's just gone. There's nothing. Why? Those signs that you go through are in relation to the body. Why? Because the elements are dissolved. So if your body's element is smashed, to smithereens, there's no elements to dissolve. It just instantly dissolves. It's like having a jar. You have a lot of holes, and the water is empty out of the hole slowly, or you just smash the jar and the water is gone. You understand that? Okay. So when we go through the dissolution of death, as in Tantra, you have the death, Bardo, and rebirth. And then when you go through the dissolution of death and the elements are dissolving, you see the fireflies, you see the mirage-like vision, then you see like the earth dissolving, you see like haze, you know what we're talking about, right? That won't be experienced if your death is sudden. Sudden and instant. That will only happen in a natural death, meaning Normal process, not accidental. So if you're in a car, you get smashed, you won't go through that. Now there are some that says he goes through it very fast as if there's nothing. Some I've heard say that it's very slow. I'm sorry, that doesn't exist. But what I've heard from my gurus is that you don't go through that process. You instantly take the word. Why? Because your elements are not there to dissolve. It's just smashed. So I would tend to go for the second belief. Why? Because the elements are, you don't have the support factor to experience that because the element is gone. You just push it out of your body. That's why when people are dying, we try not to touch them and disturb them. That's part of it. So to experience those experiences, to know you're dying slowly, you need to have the elements with you, you need to have your body, because your mind is dissolving step by step.